Ooh, testing the camera, testing the microphone, testing the fit. Huh? I'm back. Thank you very much to everyone who watched my last video, if that last video does exist. We are once again gathered here today for me to regale you with the tale of making a project. Now, what is that project? The complete opposite of what I just did. Last time on this channel, I made a completely all-black Winterfell-inspired faire outfit for cold weather. Today we are doing an everything pink and floral hot weather faire attire. Because most of the time it is in fact warm when you go to the fair, and I needed something to wear. Now I've got you here in front of this whiteboard because this is my anti-executive dysfunction whiteboard. This is where I write out every step of what I'm going to do so I don't have to think about it. So I can just look at my board and know what I'm doing. Alright, what color do we want? Pink. Always pink. Everything pink. I've realized I need to be on this side so I can write with my right hand. This project will be composed of two main elements that I need to make. Much simpler than the black outfit I just did. Refreshing. Now I know that my handwriting is wonderful. It's the best handwriting you've ever seen. You can read it so perfectly. Cut the pieces. We sew the pieces. We press the pieces. We add the channels or line it. Haven't decided. We're gonna bone. We're gonna add boning. We're gonna finish the edges. We're gonna grom it. And then we're gonna lace. However, there is something I've neglected to mention. Is it 2 S's or 3? I don't know. There's going to be a cross-stitch rose on the front of the corset that I will cross-stitch myself. Now for the skirt, I have more concepts of a plan. I love having concepts of a plan. I love improvising. This is going to be my chaos skirt. We're going to start with a base layer of just a full-length white skirt. I think I'm going to add a ruffle at the bottom. And then I'm just going to take everything pink, everything lace, everything floral I have in my hoard, and we're just going to put it on the skirt however I want to. But yeah, that's the plan for now. Let's get to it. I am once again using... Let me get down. Let me get down here so you can see me. I'm once again using the Cerise corset pattern from Mood Society, the free one. It's free, you can go download it. But the bust part of this corset pattern has these sort of curves that allow for a sort of cavity to put your boobs in. I don't really need that. Plus it would be a heck of a lot easier to sew if these were just straight up and down. So I'm just gonna... We now have the pattern for a perfectly flat-chested corset. You know how I said I never wanted to work with leather again? We got real leather this time. This is a red dirt leather coat, classic glazed pigskin lining. Nice. Another thing that I learned from my last project is that filming every second of me cutting stuff out and sewing stuff together and ironing stuff is not necessary. It's done. I did slice my finger open, but it's done. No, I'm not going to sew these together just yet. We're going to take this center front piece, and I'm going to get it ready to do the cross stitch on it. I'm sat here in my old lady rocking chair because it's time to start my cross stitch. I'm here with my pattern and I'm just trying to find some good matches out of my existing embroidery thread. Since we're not doing red, I'm just trying to find a good gradient of pinks. I've also got my greens here. I did not anticipate how hard it would be to get a needle through this. I might have to go back and recut this piece with a softer piece because, or maybe I just need a smaller needle. I don't know, but this is the struggle I'm on right now. Okay, the smaller needle is doing it. Ignore my first stitches, I was figuring it out. But what I like to do is I like to just start in the center and then radiate out, especially when I'm not using grid fabric. This collar doesn't go with this outfit at all, but it makes a great microphone holder. I accidentally took off some of the coating on the leather when I was trying to get the pin dots off. Haven't figured out how to fix that yet, but we're gonna figure it out. So we're assembling the corset. I have cut a lining, just all of the pattern pieces out of this floral cotton. And I think the way that we're going to do this is we're going to put wrong sides together, and then we're going to sew all the pieces together like that, and then after that we are going to add boning channels with the bias tape, and I think that will make my life a lot easier. So, oh, this is a fun angle. I have no idea how my sewing machine is going to take this leather, so we're just going to start slow. Alright, she's taking it pretty well. I'm gonna switch to brown thread because I started on white thread because I'm dumb. And my bobbin's out anyway, so it's okay. Also, I don't know if you can even tell, but I did lose the little plastic bobbin cover. So I'm just kind of going on without it. I'll get another one. It's fine. It's fine. It's all together. I've already started pinning down the boning channels, so just bias tape. We'll see how this goes. I've got clips on the ends, and I've just stuck the pins through the seam allowance. So I'm just gonna sew these down, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, I'm back here with my helpful cat assistant. If you don't know, this is Lily. She's my soul cat. She's my baby. And she's been screaming all day because she wants to sit in my lap, so here she is. But if she's gonna be chill, we'll just continue on. I finished all the boning channels. Oh. And she's gone. I'm not in frame either. Hold on. I'm covered in threads because I finished all the boning channels. Didn't do it in the way I originally thought I was going to do it. I don't even know if I explained. But basically what I did is I just top stitched all of the seams on the top, and then afterwards I took some bias tape and then I just stitched in the ditch all the way down so that on one side it has a pocket for a piece of boning. I did promise we were going to bone at some point during this process, and that time is right now. Okay. Now, as every corset maker knows, the best part about making a channel is that you get to put stuff in it afterwards. And this is what we're putting in there. That's right, zip ties. Now, pretty much any corset that you get that isn't like a fancy steel bone corset is going to have this kind of plastic sort of zip tie-esque boning in it. So that's just what we're gonna do. I'm not a steel bone girly, I'm not that fancy. But I'm just cutting a piece for every single channel and just sliding it right in. Alright, we are fully boned. Now, just to finish the top and the bottom, I'm just going to use some bias tape and just fold the edge over. Oh. you have anything to say? Now, I probably should clarify. I'm using the cerise pattern, but not the instructions. If that wasn't clear by now. Oh, this is a fun angle. Hey. But, look over there. Oh, look at me. I'm using the pattern, but not the instructions, just because I don't know. I don't know why I don't use the instructions. You certainly would think that it would make things easier. But you know, I don't like just following instructions. I like messing around and figuring things out on my own. If it wasn't clear by now. So yeah, I just needed to know what shapes to cut, and then I'll put them together how I want to. Because I think part of the appeal to me of making these like wild fancy projects is the trial and error and the messing stuff up and just figuring it out anyway. Okay, oh my gosh, that took a long time, but it is now almost completely finished. I haven't put the grommets in yet because I'm waiting for my friend to text me back. Like a week ago, I texted him, "Can I borrow your anvil this weekend?" You know, because friends share anvils with each other. And now I'm just waiting for him to text me back so I can use that to install the grommets. To be clear, I meant that I sent an initial text on Monday and then he responded, but then I sent a follow-up text on Saturday, the day that it is today, and I was waiting a response for that. I did not wait a week for someone to respond to a text. But other than that, it's so pretty. I'm not completely satisfied with how the inside turned out, but it looks better than the last time I made a corset, so I'm just gonna say that's progress. Hey, what the inside of your corset looks like is nobody's business but your own. We've got an anvil. Now, we're on the floor of my living room in my apartment right now, just because, you know, I prefer it if my neighbors don't hate me. But I've got all of the holes cut out for my grommets, and we're just gonna slam them on in there. Doing this, I definitely think I need to invest in an anvil now, because this is so much quieter than doing it like on a table or somewhere. I did feel bad for my neighbors when I was doing that, though I tried to do it at like a reasonable hour. Oh. She's here to inspect. Oh. You can't see, but she's like rubbing on the microphone. Hi. Alright, cool. Lily is like the cleanest cat ever, and it's like honestly my favorite thing. Now, as you can see, all the grommets are in. Thank you, Matthew, for the anvil. We're just gonna stay right here to lace because it's convenient. So what I'm gonna use for the laces of this are actually the extra long laces that I got when I bought my American Duchess boots. I don't really need the extra long laces. The regular laces fit me just fine. So we're just gonna use these. Very convenient. Okay, so I just want to show you how I lace my corsets for self-tightening. So basically, I've stopped doing the crisscross pattern right here at about where my waist is going to be, and instead of crossing over to the hole on the other side, I'm just going to go into the same one on the same side, leaving a loop. I'm really glad I'm using these for the laces actually, because I probably will end up wearing my American Duchess Bessie aviator boots, I believe, is what I have with this, so my corset laces will match my shoelaces. Now that it's fully laced with these ends, I'm just going to tie them together loosely into a bow. If I can figure out how to tie a bow. Stuff is slippery as hell, huh? Come on. Okay, I've got my pink peasant shirt on, and now let's lace it up for the first time ever. Dare I say I've popped off? I'm so snatched right now. Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's even like a little bit too loose. Like I can't lace it up all the way because I'm just so tiny. But it's comfy, it's cute. I'm very happy. So what I'm gonna try to do is I think I'm going to make a half circle skirt. I don't think I can get a full circle out of this just because it's a twin size. I don't really think it needs to be a full circle skirt just because of all the layers that are going to be on top of it. We're going to cut the fabric to a width that's going to fit over my hips and butt, and then the actual elastic will be what is the actual measurement of my waist, like this skirt right here that I made. Since this is folded in half, we are going to measure half of what the finished measurement needs to be. The shirt has a convenient little microphone holder keyhole. Actually, I think I'm going to fold it into quarters. Now the measurement we need is 10 inches, which will be much easier to do. And this is kind of just something that I do all willy-nilly because it doesn't need to be exact. So I'm just going to fold that over just to see how long that'll end up making the skirt if I do it like this. So if I cut it like this, the skirt will end about mid-calf, which is just about where I want. Now that I cut the waist, I'm just going to pin my measuring tape to the floor here. It's going to be about 41 inches from that point. So we're just going to start cutting, and we're going to move the measuring tape, but always cutting at that 41 inches. Okay, so now that I have the skirt cut out, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a waistband out of this here folded over edge. Oh, still a little plastic thingamabobber in there. And once again, we're just going to make that about 40 inches. So next, out of the rest of the excess fabric, I am going to cut some ruffles for the bottom of the skirt. Just add a little bit more length and a little bit more pizzazz. I measured the bottom of the skirt. It's about 142 inches. So we're just going to make sure we have at least double that, hopefully. But we'll see how it goes. Now I recorded myself talking about what I was doing here, not realizing that my microphone was fully off. So what I've done here is I have attached all of the ruffles I got. I don't know how much exactly I got, but I just got as much as I can. It's all attached and hemmed and gathered, so I'm just attaching it to the bottom of my skirt now. Now, here's another clip of me talking into an off microphone, but if you could hear me right now, I'd imagine I'd be saying something about how The skirt is almost entirely put together except for the waistband, which I am now going to put on, and I have also cut a piece of elastic to the circumference of my waist. Now I'm just using a safety pin to thread that elastic through the elastic channel, and then I will sew down the elastic, making sure it's not twisted. It's done. Now I know this is like the most boring project. Now I know that this is like the most boring part of this entire project, but like this brings me, thread. This brings me such joy. But just like imagine when I get all like my pink stuff on all over this, all of the pink and lace, just picture it. And also my cross stitch corset over it. I'm so excited. I couldn't find my full length petticoat. I just have like a little knee length petticoat on, but I'm so excited. I need to make myself like just a casual skirt of this length because this is so fun. It is pink chaos time, y'all. So I have my underskirt here on my mannequin, and right here I have everything lace, everything pink, everything pearl in my entire craft board, and we're just gonna put it on the skirt however we want. Okay, I think I just need to work from like the bottom layer up. So to start, I have this so cool butterfly fabric that I got when Joann's was closing. Pour some out for Joann. And I also have some of this little pink stretch brocade with a little velvety texture. And what I think I want to do is I'm going to do like just a little peekaboo of the butterflies, and then this will be like our main base layer of the pink skirt. Now, to be clear, I'm just kind of cutting and pinning things where I want them just to get the design down, and then later I will sew them all together. So now we just need to layer and layer and layer, add more and more and more because I want this to be very maximalist. Right now I'm thinking about maybe this right here, just like a little fluff on one side. Okay, so this is a curtain, but like imagine this as like a bustle. And like, I'm so sad that I can't use the whole thing because it's far too long. Oh, what if I... Oh, I could like... Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, it's gorgeous. Look at it. But it's nowhere near pink enough. I am in love with this right now. Look at all the bows, and there's so many dangly bits. They're gonna blow in the wind. I love this. But next up, I think I'm going to use these pink chiffon remnants, and we're gonna use that to balance out the fluff on the other side. Ooh, I'm gonna just like let it hang like this. Just as another like, yeah. And like obviously I'll hem it, but you know, just goes there. Okay, I think the front part needs more fluff, so I'm just gonna add all of the fluff, all of the everything. Good morning. Today is the day. It's Ren Fair Day. This is my Super Bowl. This is my Met Gala. everything's finished, and I'm just gonna put it all on. It's the final product. Let's talk about some edits I made off camera. First of all, I did end up fixing that little bit that had the coating cut off, but I put on some gold leaves. Did you hear that? That's the sound of my microphone running out of battery. But here I'm just explaining how I added gold leaves, flowers, stars, etc. to the front and the hips of the corset. Here's my belt bags too, I crocheted them both. I added a granny square to one, and some rose quartz beads to my water bottle holder. I'm also explaining how I had another cross-stitch element that I had attached to my belt, but I didn't like how the colors looked with all the other colors, so I took it off. I also added some flower-shaped beads to an old choker, and now I'm showing off my hat that I found at Goodwill, and my hat pin from Etsy. Now I'm showing how I did very light pinkish makeup by blinding myself with my light. It's green. It's on. This is my third time filming this part because this microphone sucks. That was fun. I probably will end up doing this again. It motivates me to push myself design-wise, make even cooler stuff. It motivates me to actually finish projects. And also, it gives me good practice of explaining what's in my head, because I'm not very good at that. So if you want to see more of this, subscribe to the channel. See what I come up with next. I don't know what it's gonna be. There's someone else who wants to say goodbye too. Do you have anything to say?